What's up, everyone, and welcome to Shared Save the Game Media's weekly gaming discussion podcast. I'm your host, Kevin, and on today's episode, we're doing a little topic because the news is so light. We're going to do that social media trend you may or may have not seen, 10 games that define us. We each have a list of 10 games that we will go through and tell why we feel they define us. Before we get to that, obviously, hanging out with my co-host, Sam Heaney. How are you, my friend?
It's weird. It's a weird one this week where
Hmm.
I'm good,
Okay.
but it's been horrifically cold here in the UK,
Yeah, what's it
and I
like?
have like a
40?
seasonal illness that kicks in
Mm.
every year around this time,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm perfectly fine, and then for no reason whatsoever, my body's like, "Oh, it's hit that time on the calendar, has it? You're going to shut down." And we're in that period, so I just feel very lethargic. I've got like I apologize if I sneeze because I've been sneezing a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not good, but I am good, but I'm not good, you know?
What's your definition of really cold?
Um, well,
You can hit me with a Celsius. Yeah.
okay, I would say, I mean, what is it now? Let's see. Live weather. What's the weather currently at? Okay, well, right now my computer is telling me that it's 10 degrees Celsius,
I'm definitely not Googling it. 50. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful weather.
which
I think
it
that's actually what it is here as well.
it doesn't sound bad. But there's something about the climate here where like the hot feels much hotter, as you hear all the time. America's like, oh, you think you know hot weather, but it's not to do with the temperature, it's to do with the climate. And I think that it works for cold as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously you can clearly see I'm wrapped up in lots of warm things. So
I'm wearing a sweater, but that's because every piece of clothing I own is in the dryer next to me.
fair.
And I swear, I kid you not, the dryer has been running for 6 hours.
You'd be
Uh,
like that sometimes.
I I did one load of laundry, and for some reason it came out soaking wet. It was like dripping, and I was like, did the weather not? No, or did the washer? That's the word I'm looking for. Not like wring it out. I think it's because of a lot of towels and stuff in there or something.
Mm,
So I threw that in the dryer, and I was like, all right, let's put that on high. And then I did another load of laundry, and that one came out fine. But then when I opened the dryer to switch it, it was still soaking wet. So I was like, this is still wetter than the clothes I just pulled out. So I'm just gonna throw them all in together, and they just kind of been in there now. So hopefully, when I open this back up, I will have dry clothes
fingers crossed.
and bed sheets. I'd like to go to sleep.
Mm. Can you sleep without bed sheets?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
needs must. I've done it before.
Shout out to everyone hanging out. I see Nissa in the chat. I see Kyle hanging out. Nissa brings up that our friends over at the Nerd Chat only need 5 more subs to hit 500. So if you haven't subscribed to them, please go drop them a subscription in this holiday season. You know, it's the season of giving. So give them your subscription. And then Daddy Diwali will give you the fun experience of watching him have a heart attack live on stream as he eats 8 bacon cheeseburgers or some nonsense that he's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
that's the
coronary.
entertainment that I need.
That's a coronary waiting to happen.
Uh-huh. How are you though?
Oh, and Ains and Eric. I don't know. I don't think that's a.
Oh,
I don't know about that. That's a bit much. But yes, please go check our friends out over the Nerd Chat. Um, I'm doing well. I'm doing
good.
well. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I have a 4-day weekend. I'm going to enjoy lots of food. My plan is to wake up nice and early, hit the gym so I can indulge myself. As we were talking prior to the show, I really only go to the gym so I can eat a bunch of food. Like that's really my main reason to go. Um, and speaking of food, my fiance made a pumpkin pie, and it's downstairs cooling. And maybe I'll have some after we get out this podcast.
Okay, okay.
I love me some pumpkin pie. Ooh. But why don't we jump into the show proper? Because this is not a food and weather show. This is a gaming podcast. Normally we're live every Thursday right here on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia. If you can't catch us live, was every Friday or every Sunday, not Friday, every Sunday on your favorite audio platform of choice. Please, while you're over there, Apple, Spotify, doesn't matter. Drop us those 5-star reviews. It does help. And if you were on social media this week or in the Discord, you would have seen we actually gave away a code for the gold edition of Star Wars Outlaws. And the way you entered that giveaway was by either subscribing here on YouTube or rating us on those podcast services. The code has gone to our lovely Patreon member, Black Wyver. They won the code. Congrats to them. I gave everyone, I started Friday, gave everyone a few weeks because it's a code provided by Ubisoft to give away to the community. So it was just a giveaway for the community. So if you subscribe for the next giveaway, you'll already be entered. All you have to do is show me proof, and then it's easy. So just subscribe now, rate now.
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah. Then
I
you
want to
will be
win.
entered for the next giveaway we do. Who knows what it'll be?
I know.
I don't.
Bloodborne 3.
Yeah, Bloodborne 3. If you want to support us even further, get early audio access to all of our content and exclusive bonus shows like the Patreon exclusive Share Save episode we will be recording this weekend. Choose the tier that's right for you, like over on patreon.com, like our current supporters. So thank you to Sam Hall, Alpaca Tom, Rick Davis, Silkanet, who I just saw pop into the chat here, Dave Harp, David Hotright, Lillian, Marcus O'Neill, Brendan Myers, aka The Winter Gamer, Nikolai Knight, Fabulous Brianna, Brandon, and Black Wyver. Thank you all for your support. We appreciate each and every one of you. Before we get into the topic of discussion, why don't we go around and talk about what games we've been playing, Sam?
Yes. Kev, it's been a busy couple of weeks with me.
Your list
These
is
lists,
insane, bro.
Very long. But this week I've really gotten into my bag again. My trophy platinum hunting
Oh,
bag.
God.
I just rip and teared 6 platinums earned this week.
Jesus.
Hell yeah. So I wrapped up 1,000 Times Resist, got the platinum in that. Talked about that plenty enough. Silkanet, don't trigger me. It's too soon. I played through for the first time on console, but second time Indica. Fantastic little indie. Highly recommend it for people who haven't played it. Very bizarre, I will admit, but
they
a
send
good time.
me emails constantly. Their PR team really, even now, still pushes this game.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's very short. You can finish it in a couple of hours. So, and the trophy cleanup wasn't that much longer. So, did that. This one, admittedly, not proud of. But
Yeah.
I did play through. I mean, you know what's coming, Kev, because you can see the document.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I just share your shame with the world.
Put respect on Bluey's name, okay, Kev?
No, I won't.
Disgraceful. Just because you couldn't stomach Peppa Pig, right?
I was gonna say, I was like, did I play Bluey? No, I played Peppa Pig. That's the nonsense I played. I assume they're very similar games.
I mean, I platinumed that one as well, so
Were they similar games?
To be fair, I completely blanked Peppa Pig from my mind, so I couldn't tell you.
Hold up. Kyle says Bluey is a girl. Is that accurate?
That is true, yes.
What?
Yeah. Bluey is a female dog. That's right.
The more you know, Rainbow, right here.
But yeah, platinum that, as you can imagine, very easy. Hour and a half, knocked it out. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I will never mention it again. Just forget it ever happened.
Yeah. What platinum is that?
350 something, 60,
Jesus
50,
Christ,
60,
bro.
60. Also platinumed Crow Country.
Okay, a respectable game.
Yes, indeed. First time playing through it. Really good, actually. Like a PS1 style survival horror-esque game. Again, relatively short, but has been on my backlog for a long time. available through PS Plus. Again, I'm rattling through these, but they're all recommended. Maybe outside of Bluey, maybe not that one.
Well, it
But hey,
depends on the age group
yeah,
and
yeah. Hey, apparently Bluey is a very good show. Like it makes a lot of adults very emotional. So I'm not going to
it,
pass judgment.
it like so when I worked at my previous job, which was in mental health, I will say that's all I was. All I will give. But the mental health professionals on our team, they all loved Bluey
Mhm.
because they tackle a lot of like important topics for children. So
Yeah.
apparently Bluey is good.
Talking about a lot of mental health things, I also replayed Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. They gave you the free PS5 upgrade, separate trophy list. So that's like my third or fourth time playing through the game. Kev, I don't mean to bring it up. It just reminded me of how badly they bungled Hellblade 2,
No, listen, I don't know if I think bad is a little harsh.
I said bungled. I didn't say
All
bad.
right, okay. They bungled it. They
They
bungled
bungled
it.
it.
I guess it depends on what area you're looking from. Like,
If you
we have a
like
whole
fun, cool games, you can play Hellblade 1. And if
we
you
have a whole
like
2-hour spoiler cast on this game,
a
right? Where
cutscene, you can
we
play Hellblade 2.
dive deep into this game where I don't like it as much as the first one, but I don't nearly
I
think,
am, of
yeah, of
course,
course, you're
playing
pulling
it
my
up.
chain, yeah, for sure. But
But
you had to get that platinum. I've thought about going to get the platinum just to have it,
yep, it's my second Hellblade 1 platinum because I platinumed it on PS4 as well. But yeah, just it's so good. Like the Sea of Corpses, the Hela boss fight, Surta, Valravan. You have obviously the Hela fight at the end and the gimmick with that. You have the trials, the blindness trial, like all of it's so good. So fantastic. I would recommend people going back to it, even if you've already played it, if you get it for free on PS5 if you already own it. So that then not something I platinumed, but something I've gone back to try and platinum before it's removed from the PlayStation Plus catalog next month. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. A relatively actually no. I was going to say relatively basic, but I'm not going to allow that. A surprisingly in-depth VR game that has very basic gameplay, I will say. But you are doing lots of different things in lots of different scenarios. The VR implementation is very good. And who doesn't love swinging a lightsaber around in VR? It works for Beat Saber, so obviously it's going to work here.
I'm glad you told me this was a VR game because I was like, "What? I don't know what this is. I feel like I've never even heard of this game." And
Yeah.
now I know why.
Yeah. And I don't know that it got reviewed super well, if I remember that correctly. But I'm having a good time. The other day, I played a mission where I was IG-88, and I was basically doing like the raid, but in Star Wars, where I was just like busting through doors, shooting down tons of like smugglers in a big high-rise building. Pretty sick.
Did you ever play the what's the one where you're just like a pilot? Is it Star Wars? Like,
Oh,
I want to say
oh,
Squadrons. Is that what it's
yeah,
called?
Motive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave a VR mode in that one, right? I feel like I would get motion sick real easy.
That's the one thing that's put me off of doing it. I've been very tempted multiple times of picking it up, but yeah, I have good VR legs, obviously, but like there is something about that really fast motion where I played a few games similar to that that's really rubbed me the wrong way. And if I know that I can maybe get like 5-10 minutes in before I need to take a break, I'm less inclined to give the experience as a whole a go. So yes, but this one very good little VR game. And finally, for the second time, to platinum.
You have a problem?
I played Jusant, which is a really great little climbing game from Don't Nod. Very short and sweet again. easy platinum. And yeah, that I cleaned that up this afternoon. So highly recommend if you like climbing, I guess. It's in obviously not similar at all, but in the vein in my mind of like a Pathless or a Sword of the Sea, where it is a very simple premise and
Mhm.
you're just going from point A to point B and navigating very, very pretty environments with a couple of new mechanics as you go, but nothing too strenuous, no combat or anything like that.
Yeah, I think the what is it? The game bakers are making
Cairn,
Cairn. I
Cairn,
don't know how.
yeah,
I think Silken had told me I say it wrong, but I think I say Cairn. Um, and that is more of a like a hardcore climb. Like you have to manage like hunger and stamina,
yeah,
but like I love the game bakers. Basically all their games. So I'm definitely like interested in trying that one. I know I got pushed, but it's very different to Jusant though, from
yeah,
what I understand.
yeah. Just on, I mean, you have like a stamina bar, but you aren't managing resources or oh, I guess in a way you are because you do have a certain length of rope that you are allowed before you have to like reset or get to a specific like holding point to reset. But yeah, it's a far more relaxed experience. No
Cool.
fall damage either, which is weird for a game like this, but I appreciate it for
Well,
specific reasons.
I can't wait to hear what 8 games you platinum next week. Um,
I'll get started
maybe,
now.
maybe because it's December is probably going to be a slower month. You
Mm.
hit that backlog. You hit the games maybe you missed throughout the year.
I mean, that's what I've been trying to do, just to clear up things and finish things off. So now the backlog is, trust me, my dashboard on my PS5 is looking crazy right now.
My PS5 dashboard has Until Dawn, a Plague Tale Requiem, which I will platinum on PS5 at some point in the future, and then the Mega Man Battle Network games, and that's it.
Damn.
Eh, I don't like keeping games installed just to have them installed.
There are very few that I keep installed. To be fair, very few.
There's
No,
a platinum waiting.
no,
Outer Worlds 2,
no. Sorry.
there for the taking. Well, this coming into the holidays here in the states, obviously I've had quite large amount of gaming time. So I rolled credits on Yakuza 0. I know last week I spoke about it. Wasn't particularly like super high on it. I will say that totally changed. I think last week I was like, okay, the last few chapters I'd done getting better. This game really picks up after chapter 6. I think the story is phenomenal. I think the ending is touching and beautiful and really endears yourself to these characters. Um, Combat was okay. Clearly, it's an older game, but it holds up quite well. Yeah, I I I went into it not enjoying it and totally turned around by the end of it. So I can't really have any complaints. Great, great time. Took me about 20 hours to mainline it. Obviously, you can spend much longer if you're doing mini
Sure.
games and side quests and all the Yakuza stuff. But yeah, recommend that one, especially because it's getting delisted in like 10 days and they're replacing it with the director's cut because Sega last night decided to announce that, hey, I know we said no upgrade paths for the Yakuza Zero's director's cut and the PS5 ports of Kiwami 1 and 2. We decided that we're actually going to give you some upgrade paths. So it's like $15 for Zero, and then Kiwami 1 I think is a dollar, and then Kiwami 2 is free. And at that point, I was like, "What are you doing?" So that's going to be on Steam, PS5, Xbox. You can upgrade those. I did feel like they were mocking me when they announced
Of
that
course.
because I rolled credits yesterday on Yakuza Kiwami 1. And this is obviously a remake of the very first Yakuza game from 2005 or 6 or something. It has been touched up. It basically keeps the combat style of Yakuza 0 because they came out a year apart. They changed some of the leveling up mechanics. I think the story is much better. Like the pacing is a lot better, faster. It's a much shorter game. I think this one only took me the 9 hours or so
Oh,
to,
wow.
to roll. Yeah, it's like half the time. I will say I don't think the story is nearly as good, and I'm okay. I could look past that. It was a fine story. Definitely the weakest Yakuza story I've played, but it was their first attempt at this, right? Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
got to put into perspective. This was from the mid 2000s, their very first. Yeah, like they didn't know what the series was gonna become or like how to nail the formula yet. So while they got the gameplay down and the pacing was tight, it did have some issues with the story that I was like, I don't know if he nailed the execution here because the whole thing was like you see a lot of, especially after playing Zero, I was like, some of the characters don't feel like they're the same characters. It almost feels like kind of disjointed as opposed to Zero is supposed to be like a bridge for what happens because it's a prequel. I don't know. I don't think it flowed very well having the context of Zero because I was like, how did we get here? I know it's like 10 plus years later or whatever, but
Sure.
some of the things I was like, I just don't think that you would have done that based on what I saw, what we went through before. So just it was okay. I'm happy to have played it, happy to experience that. I have jumped into Yakuza Kiwami 2. I'm only like an hour in, which is like 2 chapters. So I think this one's also quite short, probably the same roughly length of Yakuza Kiwami. And immediately, massive upgrade.
Mm.
The I don't know if they switched engines for the remake between the remakes or if Yakuza 2 was just like that much of a more of an advanced game. And so the remake shows, but I'm blown away. Obviously, the visuals have been completely redone, but it is absolutely stunning on my PC. Um, some of the textures I'm seeing, like Kiryu's pores on it. So I'm like, this is beautiful. Like this holds up to today's standards. And then the combat's completely redone. I think it feels way better. And the enemy, I want to say ragdoll physics are also redone, which makes me leads me to believe it's a new engine. Because some of the
Mm.
things that happen, like I'll kick them and they'll go flying and then they'll like pinball off of the like environment or like so it's just like hilarious. I'm like, this is more of the Yakuza I know because you'll have some of that when you're playing like the newer ones, even the turn-based ones, like you'll hit an enemy and then they'll do some like weird flips and stuff after hitting the ground. I'm like, all right, this is where we get into this ridiculous nonsense where I'm like spinning people and throwing them into crowds and then they like burst like bowling balls or bowling pins and I'm like, yeah, really liking it. Story, voice acting, everything so far is good. It's got me intrigued. I'm looking forward to playing more over the holidays. Like I said, won't take
Sick.
me that long, but yeah, really happy. And then I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop playing because Yakuza Kiwami 3 is coming out in February. Probably won't play that when it launches because packed. But I've decided I will play the new Yakuza games with Ichiban probably as they come out because I still do prefer those games. But for Kiwami, they're clearly gonna do 4, 5, and 6. Like, why would they stop? So I'm just gonna play the remakes of those instead of going to the remasters and stuff because
Sure.
I figure I'll get the better experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle brings up, don't worry, they're fine, just minor injuries. I will say, Yakuza, you got to turn your brain off because like they make a whole big deal. Like Kiryu's like, oh, I don't kill people, right? Like that's not. But he
Mm.
also he likes to like, oh, you're gonna come at me, be prepared to die, and I'm like, okay, but you make the whole thing about like you're not gonna kill them, you're just gonna beat them up. But then you can pick up like knives and do like heat actions where I stab the crap out of you and you're like bleeding everywhere. So I'm like, what actually happens
Walk
in
it
the
off. That'd be fine.
cutscenes versus I threw a guy out a window as one of my heat actions in Kiwami 2. I just picked him up and threw him, and I was like, it's like a 19-story building. That man is dead, but we don't kill people here.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like Spider-Man, how you like beat them up so their like brain is all mush, but like it's cool. You
That's
stir
right.
them up.
They're still alive, technically.
Yeah. You're vegetable now, but you're alive. Kiryu does the same thing. When I curb stomp people, their face is on the cement. All right. They're not getting up after that.
Everything else intact, though. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've been playing. I don't know what will await me after Yakuza Journey, but I'm having a good time. Having a good time.
Happy to hear it.
Sam, let's get into our topic for the week. Like I said, there was no real news because we weren't going to talk about. Oh my God, Xbox made some Crocs. Like I genuinely could not care less about the Crocs. So we had thought about doing this a few weeks back. You brought it up. Hey, it's going on social media. Saw some other podcasters do it in and outside of our circles. And I was like, all right, we'll have this as like a backup plan for when there's a slow or light news week. And that just happened to be this week. It's going to be our top 10, or not our top 10, our 10 games to define us, which I don't know about you, but I took differently than my 10 favorite games of all time.
Yes,
Like this is
same.
not, there may be some in here that would make my top 10, but I did pick games that are nowhere near my top 10 of all time for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
There just happened to be some overlap, and then because I've seen people tackle this different ways, because it's all about you have to like do some introspective thinking. At least that's how I took it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So why don't we start with you, Sam? Really, you
With
say you
me?
put a whole listen. You got a presentation. I don't got a presentation.
Listen, I have high functioning autism. Okay, so this is a thing I do. Let's see. I need to make sure that I've got the thing. There's the tab. Let's see. No, no, no. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us. Let's see.
And chat, if you're here or you're listening after, why don't you drop some games that you feel define you? However you take that is totally up to you.
Look how professional you are. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Let's see. Okay.
Guess I make lists, but I just have anxiety. Nissa says, same. Guess what's on Sam's list? I do think I can probably. Do we want to have some
Okay,
guesses?
yeah. Before I share anything, let's throw out some guesses. What do you think might be on my list?
So I made the thumbnail. I want everyone to know this. I made the thumbnail for tonight's show without knowing any games on Sam's list. So the characters are not indicative of what you may hear tonight. That being said, I do think God of War will be on your list. Whether it's 2018 or one of the OG ones, I think God of War will be on your list.
Okay.
What else? I want to say The Last of Us, but that's too like I almost feel like it's too basic. You know, like, oh, he's a PlayStation fan. He must like The Last of Us. I'm like, he does like The Last of Us. That is a fact, but I don't know. I don't know if it's on your list, but it could be. Man, it's so hard. Not knowing you as a child makes this a lot harder. What other games do you like to play? You like those indie games, like I could see something like. I mean, no, obviously,
No, of
I
course.
could see something like Journey or something on your list, like one of those types of games. You know what I'm talking about? Like a Gree, or however you say Grease. No, I'm not saying that game in particular, but like those types of games, I can see making the list. At least one, like having an entry. Does an Xbox game make the list? I know you talked about Halo. I know you talked about Halo. You got the PC copy.
That's true.
You're not a big Nintendo guy,
Mm.
so I don't want to. I don't want to say Nintendo.
75% of the list.
Yeah, says all ruse. I also thought about Sly Cooper.
Okay.
Just because we both have, but also like, do you go Infamous instead? Like, do you go both? Does it matter? Oh man. I'm seeing Nissa's dropping a bunch in the chat. Wander Stop, South of Midnight, Dreamlight Valley, Venba. Oh, Kyle said Uncharted. That's also good. That falls into my Last of Us, you know. Silken it. Worms Armageddon, an interesting one. Final Fantasy VII,
You got
Combat
me.
Flight Simulator, Transistor, World of Warcraft. I assume those are his.
Hmm.
Some Souls game. Yeah, From Soft representation certainly could be on there. I'd probably go Bloodborne if I had to guess one.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's probably all I can think of. If you want to start revealing some of them and go
Okay.
through the reasons why you chose them.
Okay, let's see if the sharing screen works. Hopefully it doesn't. Let's go. Okay. Hopefully you can see what's happening. Let's see. We should be good, I believe. So these are the games that define me. Have I muted myself, or can I just not hear you now? This is interesting. Can anybody hear me? Everyone.
I muted myself somehow.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, so it
Wow,
wasn't me.
that was crazy.
I mean, that was my list, everyone.
Your screen went
You're
away.
quite welcome.
I thought somehow you muted yourself when you shared your screen, and I was like,
I didn't
I don't.
think I had. Okay, here we go. We're
Okay,
going to do it again. We're going to do it
all right,
again.
yeah. I'm back.
Boom.
I'm back. I'm back. It was me. My sweater must have hit the top of it, or
Look
I
at
did,
him.
and just
Look at him.
I am
What
done.
what an idiot.
I go
So
from
number one.
professional to idiotic real quick.
Yeah, no, that's what we're all about here. You think we're professionals? Come on. But yes, to be clear to what you said, this isn't like favorite games. This is I seriously thought what games throughout my life have shaped the kind of things that I'm into
Mm-hmm.
and are like defining pivotal moments for me. So we got some wild cards in here. First up,
Okay.
Spartan Total Warrior,
What
baby.
the hell are you talking about? What is this?
Spartan Total Warrior is a
This is
third
such a
person.
professional presentation.
It's a third person hack and slash from Creative Assembly, people behind Total War games. It is admittedly not that great. I think the gameplay holds up decent enough, but the story, the voice acting, all of that, pretty abysmal, right? But as you can see from some of these images, it's verging into like Dynasty Warriors territory where there are lots and lots of enemies and ally NPCs on the screen. And it's a big history nut, particularly for ancient Greece. Being able to play as a Spartan amongst an army of other Spartans fighting Romans. I was in heaven. And as you can see, there's like a Medusa going on here. In the box art on the left, we've got a Minotaur. Gets into the mythology. Again, story, ass. But very fun. And it's something that if I do ever get back into a kick of going on the PS2, which I do have booted up, plugged in right here alongside my PS3, this is a game I will play start to finish every single time I do that. So great fun, great time. Highly recommend.
You criticize Rise Son of Rome.
Listen, Rise doesn't hold a candle to this, okay?
I've never even heard of this game.
What that's on you. That's something you should rectify, Kev. Okay, I'm spreading the good word here.
We need a Spartan Total Warrior remaster.
I will actively crap my pants live, and I'll eat. I don't want to say what I'll eat. I'll eat many things if that happens. It's not going to, of course.
I 100% could not have predicted this.
I don't think anybody could, and that's the wonderful things about these lists. But yeah, Spartan Total Warrior is something that I remember booting up, and it's not that impressive now, obviously, but this was my first real experience of being like, oh, there can be more than like 2 or 3 characters in a game at once, and I can actually partake in big on-screen battles. So, love, love, love. Chef's kiss. Next up, Ratchet.
Yeah,
Deadlock.
I thought about saying something about Ratchet.
Yeah, Gladiator in the US, I think. But no, it was Gladiator here and Deadlocked in the US. You know, maybe this is a contentious opinion. A Crack in Time, obviously the best Ratchet and Clank game.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah, good. But this was really, without me realizing it at the time, and this is going to sound so stupid, it was the first time that I sort of cognizantly remember a thing that I loved growing up, kind of in a way growing up with me,
Mm-hmm.
of evolving slightly, because this is obviously a spin-off of Ratchet and Clank. And I played the PSP games, I played Secret Agent Clank, things like that, Size Matters. But this being, in a very light sense, a grittier version
Yeah,
of
look at
Ratchet
him.
and
He's got a
Clank.
scowl.
Yeah, look, and it's like robots with like neon orange, and it's like they almost curse in this game. And yeah, it's I don't know, there's something about it of fighting through the championship, having these AI companions, taking down the big bosses, working your way up through this gladiator arena. There's just something that sort of scratches my brain. And it's boiled down to just the basics of shooting. You know, there's not really that much platforming comparative to other Ratchet and Clank games. And you know, they introduced like the Landstalker, the vehicle in the one of those images there. Some contentious choices, I admit, but when I think of Ratchet and Clank, I think of this game first. So I was like, I could have made an argument to put Ratchet and Clank 1 here, because I think that might have theoretically been the thing that like hooked me onto this IP first. But as like a cornerstone, like memory, nostalgia kick moment for me, it's Deadlocked all the way.
I think is this the only Ratchet game I never played? Because I went through all of them obviously a year or two ago, and I don't think I ever played this one, because as you said, it's a spin-off.
Yeah.
I did try Secret Agent Clank and did not like it at all.
Not great.
Yeah. So I love Ratchet and Clank as well. I'm obviously a newer fan because I didn't play them until the PlayStation 5 generation. But I figured there might be a Ratchet on your list. I just would not have picked this one.
Yeah.
I probably would have gone Crack in Time, to be honest.
And I couldn't blame anybody for doing it, because that is a certified banger. What else is a certified banger, you ask? I'm glad you asked. It's, of course, God of War 2.
Ah, I got one. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to say? I think there is an argument to be made that God of War 2 is the best God of War game. I know a lot of people love 3. I know a lot of people love both 2018 and Ragnarok, as do I. But I think there is something about God of War 2, not in terms of like gameplay comparative 2018 or whatever, but just the fundamental building blocks of the game, the narrative, how it builds on the first game, how impressive it was at the time, how much it still holds up really well today, I would say. It's about as flawless as a third-person hack and slashy game as I can think of. It's got everything I was looking for. It was actually my entry point into God of War as well. Because I remember seeing God of War 2 being advertised in one of the PlayStation magazines at the time. Obviously, I was way too young to be playing it, but looked really cool, and I'd asked for it, and they were like, "Wait, but it's a 2. You haven't played the first one." And it's like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter." Played it, and then I went back to 1 and was there ready for 3 when that came out. It's yeah, I mean, what can be said? I think it's lauded and legendary for a reason.
This face you chose for the one picture.
I mean, I
Sir.
couldn't go any lower. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's the face I make when I play God of War 2, and I realize how good it is.
Yeah, I really hope the Greek remaster is real at one point, so I
At
can
some point, it has to be.
so I can play these games, because I don't want to, like, I think 3 is available,
Yeah.
but I don't want to jump in there. I want to be able to experience all of them, because I do like these style of games as well. Like, I know I played Dante's Inferno a few years ago and really liked that, and this is in that vein, right? Kyle in the chat said our cousin thought God of War 2 was too hard, brought his console over after school one day. I beat it. That's my only experience with God of War.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do remember God of War 2 being quite tough, but particularly in a few certain moments. There are a lot of like a few puzzle sections where that can be really finicky, and a couple of the boss fights are kind of BS, but
That's just
overall,
old school game
yeah,
design.
exactly. So you can always bump down the difficulty if you don't want to get good. So yeah, highly recommend. I'm with you that if not if, when they decide to remaster these, hopefully as a collection, but either way, I'll be there to support it, because God of War 2 opening with Colossus of Rhodes fighting. I mean, I'm not going to spoil too much because you haven't played it, but S tier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now swerve, Kev, swerve, my dear boy. Rome Total War.
What is going? You like? I'm with you, bro. If you love ancient Rome and Greek, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah. I mean,
Not
hey,
this game, but like the general sentiment.
I'm not an RTS guy at all. But aforementioned history nut, of course. And building off of, I guess, in some way, what Spartan Total Warrior introduced me to, of these like large scale battles where you can kind of control what's going on. This was like that on steroids, because there actually were like hundreds and hundreds of units that you could control. Didn't care at all about the management stuff, like all the maps and the city management and the finances. I just use cheats and I just make everybody happy and have endless money coming in. I was mainly there for the battles, and sort of coming up with my own head canons of things that was going on and why this fight was happening. And I'd make fights play out in specific ways, and I'd lose sometimes on purpose just to fill the head canon. It's yeah, I mean, I love almost all of the Total War series. I stopped playing after Rome 2 Total War came out, so I haven't touched like the Warhammer ones or anything. But the medieval Empire, Napoleon, all over them. But this is where it started, and this is a thing that I have permanently installed on any PC or laptop that I own. So I am thinking about the Roman Empire almost always. You're right.
Is that a meme? I've never.
Yeah, it's like, how many times have you thought about the Roman Empire or something?
I think
I-
about
I've-
it. I just like Spartacus is like awesome.
I'm not really sure what the foundation of that meme is, like where it was originated from, or even really what it means. But I know it's a thing. See, here we go. Silkenet's going with it as well. I am the guy who thinks about it often more than I should. It's unhealthy. But yeah, Rome Total War, God tier remaster that they put out a couple of years back. Take it or leave it. I keep the original installed. That's where it's at.
I'm not doing well with my guesses so far. I could never have predicted most of these, to be fair.
Are you going to do any better with the next one?
I don't know.
Resistance, Fall of Man.
I would have got there if we had kept naming PlayStation.
I mean,
IPs,
obviously, yeah.
You know, but
But I am the Resistance guy. I am that guy that thinks about, you thinking about the fall of the Roman Empire. I think about Resistance all the time. Resistance in general, but Resistance Fall of Man is, you know, admittedly, Taylor played through it a while back, didn't love it. Outdated, you know, like, fair enough. It feels kind of clunky. bad control scheme for sure. But I didn't have a PS3 at launch. So I was playing the PS3. I played like Red Dead Redemption, Resistance, and something else. I can't remember, at a family friend's house. And Resistance, I wasn't in the sort of consciousness yet at that stage of acknowledging that this was made by the people who did Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like paying attention to developer names. Obviously, retrospectively, that sort of enhances my love for it. But Resistance was, outside of maybe God of War, I suppose, the like darkest, grittiest thing. Really, my introduction to first-person shooters as well. Because prior to this, I don't think I touched them, any first-person shooter at all, outside of Halo, I guess, on PC. But beyond that, like, it wasn't something I was actively seeking out, so I barely played them. But Resistance is just, I think the lore of Resistance is one of the most undervalued lores, however important that is to people, and subjective. But I think it's the world that they built is so cool, the alternate history, and it doesn't mean nothing. I at this point, but even today, haven't seen a lot of media set in the UK or England specifically. So to see this kind of dystopian, really dark thing with cool weapons and aliens when I was sort of in my young teenage years, it was like exactly what I was looking for. Not that I was like, oh, we're fighting aliens in Yorkshire. That's cool. But there was just lots of British, English things that I'd never seen in a game before. It's like the representation and like diversity that people talk about. It sounds trivial, but like it was the first time that I was like, oh, game developers know that England exists, which is stupid, but like that's sort of where my brain was at the time, and I think that added to the experience. So, and obviously that only enhanced with Resistance 2 and 3, but this is where I was like, oh, this is probably going to become a lifelong obsession, and it has been.
I would like to try them if they took them off PS Plus, right?
They did.
Yeah.
Resistance 3 is still there, I believe.
Well, I'm not gonna
but
play
not
that
the
one
others.
without the other ones, So.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, I can see this one. I think for introductory, the game that introduces people to first person shooters might come back around. Just a little wink, wink, nod, nod.
Oh. Well, Kev, you swing plenty. You miss quite a lot, but you didn't miss with this one.
Yeah, Infamous.
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Well, I
I
noticed
said
you
I
didn't
was.
choose Second Son.
I said, I wonder why I didn't pick Infamous Second Son, because it's the worst Infamous game. I mean, I liked it, but it's the worst of the three. I said I was the Resistance guy. Really, I'm the Resistance and Infamous guy. These are the two things that, at the turn of the PS3, really cemented me not only as a PlayStation guy, but as a gamer in general, like somebody who really took playing games seriously and cared about games. It became less a hobby and more of a passion at this point. Because it was, at the time, these games were doing things that I'd never seen before, not only in terms of content and what I'm actually playing, but also just the experience and the fidelity and the jump from PS2 to PS3. It was just unlike anything I could have imagined. And Infamous 2 are some of the best superhero games ever made. So the karma system that Sucker Punch introduced, where you could be a superhero or super villain, that changed the powers you had access to. It changed how you looked. It changed the look of the world, how the NPCs in the city reacted to you. It's just fantastic.
I'm not surprised by this one. This one makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, so
yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like I know the developers you like, type of games you like, this one fits in that mold, certainly.
Yep. Yep. I got a chase item in the Infamous 2 Collector's Edition statue that I've got up behind me. I've got Cole McGrath's bag hung up on the wall over there. So I am a deep, deep believer in Infamous coming back. I think it has a chance.
What was the guy's name in Second Son? It's a really stupid name.
Delsin Rowe.
Delson. That's it. Stupid name.
Yeah. No, I mean, Cole McGrath isn't great either, let's be honest. But
it's better than Delson.
It is. No offense to any Delsons out there, but
no one is named Delson.
Well, apparently some people are.
All right. How many more we got?
We have.
I got 2 out of the 10 so far.
3?
All right.
Terraria.
Sure. Yeah, go off, man.
Yeah, probably one of my most played games ever. Sometimes people say that like they play Minecraft and they play it like super hardcore for like a month and a half, and then they bounce off, don't play it for years, and then come back. Terraria is that game for me. I like Minecraft fine, I guess, but this is something that, again, like Rome Total War, I just keep installed on PC, on laptops, everything. It's better than Minecraft. It's just... The problem I have with Minecraft is that it's too aimless. Like, yes, there are things you can do that technically progress the story or your progression through the game.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do?
Exactly. Terraria, you still have that freedom of just being able to build things, obviously 2D, but you have so many different biomes to explore, bosses to fight. You have weapons and armor and abilities to collect. You have world progression where you find NPCs out in the world, and you have to meet specific requisites. You have to build them a home to welcome them in and have them stay with you. They can then sell you things. Finding those people then lets you activate bosses elsewhere in the world. You defeat that boss, and then the world state changes. So you introduce tougher enemies. You create new biomes in the world that you can then explore for new things. That's irreversible as well. So you have to like plan out when you're going to do things, and will that biome replace this thing that I need? It's just great. And as you can see on the right here, Mr. Moonlord.
I thought that was Cthulhu.
Hey, I think he goes by that on the weekends. Not the weirdest boss in the game by a long margin. But Terraria, I truly adore. And I think one of the few games that actually kept me playing on PC at all. This was the thing where like it kept me going for like several years, where this would be like the only thing that I would be actively interested in keeping a gaming laptop or PC around for, is to be able to play this. Not that it's intensive, obviously, but yeah, I love Terraria, man. I love it. Love it. Love.
Would have never guessed that. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about this.
Something people might be able to guess, though, for my last couple of picks. Things I talk about pretty often.
Last of Us. Oh, yeah.
Mass Effect 2.
Well, gotta keep bullying Taylor to play it.
You know? I know, man. I've tried so hard. But Mass Effect 2, I think, is quite possibly one of the best games ever made. I like Mass Effect 1 fine, but this is such a step up above Mass Effect 1. Really, this is the game that got me into RPGs properly. And, we've talked quite a lot recently between like things like Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 of like, why isn't this RPG clicking with me? And, we've talked about me saying that the thing that I've realized is if the companions aren't great, then the experience probably isn't going to gel with me. And I think pound for pound, Mass Effect 2 has, by quite a considerable margin, in my personal subjective opinion, the single best roster of supporting characters. of any game, period. I think you could aim in any direction over the roster and find a goated character, maybe with the
Mhm.
exception of Miranda and Jacob. We can take them or leave them. But everybody else, Grant, Mordin, I mean, I have a statue of Garrus behind me, the goats, Zane and Legion, Thane and Legion. I even think Zaid and Kasumi from the DLC is great. Suicide Mission, I don't like how the game ends, but I love how
What?
I don't like the gameplay structure of the Suicide Mission in terms of it's essentially just running through corridors and then you're shooting a big thing that can't really do anything at you. But I love how everything pays off, and I love how you can divvy up the team to do specific
Mhm.
things, and whether you've done their loyalty missions or not determines whether they live or die or what. Mass Effect 2 is fantastic, and if you haven't played it, anyone, I think this is like one of those required
I would agree with that.
games to play.
Yeah, for sure. I've long said might be the best trilogy in gaming. Might be. There's it's in the
up there.
conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mass Effect, Halo, probably BioShock. I think will probably be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Return of the Obra Dinn.
No. What?
I mean, if you've known me at all, Return of the Obra Dinn from Lucas Pope, creator of Papers, Please, is the best detective game ever made. It's the one true, like, actual real puzzle game, and it's a singular thing. It's a game that you can only really play once. It's not randomly generated, so if you try to play it again, you can, and I have, but you know all the answers. But that first experience is so unique from you can play, and this isn't a dig at these games, you can play a Persona or a Final Fantasy or a whatever, but there are other RPGs like it, or you can play a Call of Duty or a Battlefield. There are other first-person shooters like it. There really is nothing like this game, and I find that incredibly special. And it really cemented a niche that I have been chasing the high of since this game. There's one other thing, which you might be seeing in a second, that encapsulates the feeling as well. But Return of the Obra Dinn is a passion project that gave me a gameplay experience, both in setting, in visual style, clearly from the images, and the greatest sense of accomplishment I've ever felt playing a game came through this, maybe followed up by something else. So if anybody is at all interested in puzzle games, like I know Sam Hall is streaming through it at the minute under my recommendation, and he's having a great time.
That's who it was. I was like, I know I've heard about this recently.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't speak highly enough. I won't say much more because to even really talk too much about what this game is and what it does spoils it, because you can only experience it once.
Silken, it says finally a good game.
The slander. How do we ban someone? Silken it.
It's praising this game, but also slandering all your other picks.
Well, how do you feel about the last one? Silken it, huh? Because of course it is. Of course it's Outer Wilds.
Oh, damn! I thought it was gonna be The Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean, I did consider, to be fair, Last of Us somewhere here, but in terms of like defining me, I don't think Last of Us did. Neither did Uncharted. Uncharted 2, I again got very close, but I couldn't swap out anything else. I felt the other games that I've talked about were more fundamental to instructing my taste.
Sam, I think there's a mistake on your PowerPoint presentation. I think you mistakenly put Outer Wilds when you meant Outer World.
Oh yeah, sorry, and it's missing the 2. Yeah,
Yeah,
why is,
yeah,
that's strange. Sorry,
Strange,
everyone.
yeah.
Sorry. Wonder why that's happened. But yes, Outer Wilds, I think probably, again, subjective, and I'm not the only person to hold this opinion. I do think it quite possibly could be the best game ever made.
Wow.
I can't say enough great things about Outer Wilds, and for those that know, you know why. It is similar again to Obra Dinn. It's a game that really you can only play once because you know the answers. But putting the puzzle pieces together in this game is the one thing that matched Obra Dinn for me, even exceeded it in certain areas. And it's a high since playing this in early 2020 that I haven't felt in a game since. And I don't just mean like puzzle games or deduction games or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just mean games in general. Nothing has hit for me as hard as Outer Wilds. And I'm scared that nothing ever will. But I think that that is a testament to the game. And, you know, I think much like Obra Dinn, this has informed my taste now for what I'm looking for, where I don't want, and a lot of people do share this opinion of like, we don't want our hands held. We want our intelligence to be respected and to be expected. You know, nothing is given to you on a silver platter. You kind of have to figure things out for yourself. And once you figure out how this little clockwork solar system that they've built works, it's like a toy box, and you can just run laps around it, but you're not going to get there for dozens of hours. And I think that there is something very, very special about that. So Outer Wilds is my final pick.
I should have guessed this one, to be honest. This should have been one I got because
I talk about it enough.
Yeah, I know you've waxed poetic about your love for that one for sure. But great list. I'll
Thank
take
you.
my 2 out of 10.
Better than
that I
one.
got. Yeah. I don't have a PowerPoint. I do have a screenshot with all 10 games on it. That I will share. Do you and the chat want to guess some of my 10 games before we get started?
Okay, well, you kind of alluded to something going on there. So I would imagine Halo is here somewhere. Might not be CE. It could be. I feel like 3 maybe. I can't remember if you've spoken more highly of 2 or 3. Could be CE. I wouldn't be against it. I think. Does Gears crack? Maybe Gears does. I would assume there's some like JRPG in here, some like Tales game.
You and Silken said that at the same time.
Yeah, Tales of something. One of them, you know, subtitles. What else might be here? Oh, obviously Fortnite, like duh. Right?
Yeah.
We got Valorant as well. That's going to be on.
Yeah, I'm a big multiplayer competitive gamer. Yeah.
I think, you know, we did raise it earlier. I think there is a chance that Plague Tale could be here. Maybe. Maybe. Does anything else Xbox? Oh, Banjo for sure. Fable? That's a tough one. I don't think it does. I would say Fable doesn't make the cut. Is there anything else? There's gonna be a Persona, probably. I would have thought, or something Atlas.
All
Yeah,
good guesses so far.
there's probably some wild cards. I mean, Christ, look at my list. So I'm expecting to be a couple of curveballs, maybe.
Kyle says, I will not answer, so I'm pretty sure I could get the majority, if not all of them. I don't think you could, because like I said, it's not
Oh.
my top 10 games. There's some overlap with my top 10 games, which I've shared my top 10 games. So you could probably get some of them, but there are a few in here that aren't in my top 10 that are on this list.
Nissa's got a good show, actually. Plucky Squire, that's for
Oh my
sure going to be
God.
on there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's actually like Goaty of all time.
why don't I share my screen? And oh, there we go.
Flashbang us with it.
Why can I not? Okay, here we go.
Brace.
No PowerPoint, just a picture of my top 10 games that I feel. Well, let me give a little disclaimer. Okay, so when I tackled this, I was like, okay, what describes me in terms of my video game taste genres? Like, I wanted to spread the field, have things covered.
Okay.
Why do I feel these describe like my taste in gaming, right? So here it is. We have
okay, yeah,
for audio listeners, and I will go through why I picked each of them. But my top 10, or not top 10, the 10 I picked: Tales of Symphonia, Banjo Kazooie, Mass Effect 2. We share that one. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah, I should have got that.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Fire Emblem Three Houses, which Silkenit did call out in the chat. Halo 2. A Plague Tale: Innocence.
I knew it.
The Dark Pictures: The Devil in Me.
That is a surprise.
And Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex.
My guy.
So let's start with the easiest one, right? My favorite game of all time that I've talked about, Tales of Symphonia. I picked this one to encompass my love of not only the Tales series, but action JRPGs in general, especially ones with a heavy emphasis on story, party members, and co-op gameplay. I think this game not only introduced me to the fact that like JRPGs could be so expansive, I want to say, because before the GameCube, like I was playing mainly probably platformers, Pokemon, which is a very simple JRPG, right? This is kind of the game that broke through, and I was like, oh wow, these can have like crazy narratives with plot twists and really deep characters that have a lot of like backstory, emotional trauma, and just a lot of depth to them that I hadn't really seen before. But also, you can play these games co-op, and that's something I did for thousands of hours with not only Kyle, but like our next door neighbor. Like we put so much time into this game that not only is it my favorite, like I know beat for beat, like the things that are going to happen, but it's just it introduced me to a whole new genre and style of game that like I still prefer to this day. So like it was a no-brainer for me. I could have put any Tales game on here and I would say the same, but I had to pick the first one, I want to say, that I played.
It's one of it's one. I've said it before, but it's one of those that I do as a non JRPG guy kind of admire from outside the window looking in, because I think there is an inherent appeal to me in the same way I was talking about Yakuza the other week. I was like, I admire it a lot, but I just don't quite have the gumption to dive in. So
yeah, and Tales I think appeals to me so much more than other JRPGs, especially action JRPGs, because the fighting system, like the combat system, is basically a fighting game, and they designed it that way intentionally, like stringing combos together, linking with special moves. Like they wanted you to feel like you were in kind of a flow state that you get with those more traditional fighting games, but they put it in a JRPG aspect, and they've continued that throughout the series for the last 20 plus years, right? So it appealed to me in that sense too, where it was like I like fighting games, but it's not like a major genre for me.
sure.
Next up, probably if that wasn't the easiest one, this one certainly is the easiest one. Banjo Kazooie, one of my favorite games of all time as well. but I will say I put this one on here to encompass my love of 3D platformers, specifically 3D platforming collectathon games, because
Okay.
there's plenty of 3D platformers out there that aren't collectathons.
Hmm.
And I really want to stress this. I really do gravitate towards those collectathon style games where it's like, hey, there's 40 of these in the level, go get them. And then there's 20 more of the like those are what I love in 3D platformers, like jumping, exploring the areas, even though they're linear, confined spaces. I just like having this little section to find all these secrets hidden in and just collect things. And once you collect them all, it hits that dopamine.
Satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know why, because when I'm thinking about it, it's like I should really like Ubisoft style games because it is collectathons at the end of the day are essentially a checklist, right?
Yeah.
Like get these, but there's just something about the way the presentation of platformers is compared to those that I like just jumping around, using different moves. It's so much something about it just doesn't click when I play Ubisoft style games. So I still love 3D platformers. Most of my platinum trophies on PlayStation are for 3D platformers, even ones that aren't highly regarded. But if you I'm there. I'm there, especially if as an animal mascot. I really value animal mascots.
You're a furry, confirmed. We heard it
No,
here
I'm
first.
not a furry. No,
Damn.
no, I'm not a furry.
Okay.
Next up, Mass Effect 2. This one is taking the Western RPG slot, I will say. And I almost put Fable here. I
Okay.
almost put Fable.
Okay.
Because I do love Fable. But I went with Mass Effect 2 because I think it really does. And this is going to sound repetitive because you and I agree on why this game is so special. The companions.
Yep.
I obviously prefer JRPGs over Western RPGs. And a lot of my issues when I play a Western RPG is that I don't feel the choice and consequence is that impactful or the companions are lackluster. This game has both of those aspects nailed down. I feel like your choices really do matter, especially when it comes to companions. The companions are deep and you fall in love with them or you grow to hate them or whatever you like. I know everyone loves Morden. I really don't care about Morden all that much. I know that's a crime, but like you can just you form bonds, and I just love that. And then I actually love the suicide mission. I think that's a fantastic way to show like how much you actually know these characters. Like it's kind of like a test at the end. So
Sure. Yeah.
that just hits something for me. But this game, I think, is like you said, one of the best games ever made. And unfortunately, BioWare kind of struggled to since this game came out to replicate that. Um, I'm sure Mass Effect 4 or 5 or whatever we're calling it will certainly knock it out the park. But yeah, this one is my Western RPG because I really do value those things. And I think that might be why I play less Western RPGs these days because like no one like I'm sure there are some out there, but like they're not in the genre I like. Like I love sci-fi. I love Starfield, right? I went into Starfield. I was like, oh man, I love space. I love space. I can't wait for Starfield. And I like Starfield, but like it's not Mass Effect, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like same with me talking about like Return of the Obra Dinn and Outer Wilds until just like it peaked there and nothing else has managed to eclipse it in the space. So yeah, I'm glad to see it. I'm glad we're kindred spirits here.
Number 4, Hellblade: Senua's
I
Sacrifice.
should have got this one. I should have got this
Definitely
one.
should have got this one. Especially because we were talking about it in this episode. I
God
thought that
damn
was
it.
quite funny. I was like, oh, does he know? Um, a game that I've talked in depth about how emotional the story was, how it resonated with me at such a dark time in my life, how impactful I think it is, and how it does such a wonderful job of portraying mental health, mental illness, especially for someone like me. I would say this is less genre based and more thematic
Mhm.
based, because I love like Celeste is another one. Like I debated putting Celeste here to fill this category instead of Hellblade, but I do think Hellblade probably connects with me more. I love Celeste, don't get me wrong, but like I have a master's in psychology. I've always been interested in mental health. Like that's just something that I really like in real life is very important to me. And this to see a game encompass that has to be on the list.
Amen.
Next up, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and I could have put Melee here. I really, it was a kind of a which one did I Google in the moment? This is meant to encapsulate my love of mainly platform fighters, but I guess fighting game. Like this is the fighting game part of me,
Sure.
because like I do like things like Guilty Gear and those Arc System fighters like Blaze Blue and Dragon Ball fighters, and but I am at heart more of a platform fighter guy. Like I love Smash Brothers. I love Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Like if it's a platform fighter game, I tried Multiverses and I wanted to love it. Like put IP, recognizable IP in a platform fighter, and I'm there. And if it's good, I will champion it to the end of the earth because I think that genre is criminally underrated. I've put thousands of hours into Smash. I have competed at tournaments for Smash Brothers. I've won money for Smash Brothers. Like I just think there's something so magical about Smash where it brings together characters from every genre, but like they come and oh, they're all going to be in a fighting game now, and it all works, and it shouldn't work, but it does. Like Solid Snake versus like fighting Mario should never. That's a fever dream, right? But like they just knock it out of the park so much, and it's just something that I really really love.
Hey, Sakurai's moved on to Air Riders.
Yeah, unfortunately, it'll be back. They always come back.
Inevitably, I'm sure. Nintendo's breaking down his door as we speak.
Let's go to Fire Emblem Three Houses because you guessed Persona,
I did.
and I almost put Persona 4 Golden in this slot. But when I think about it, this slot is to cover the turn-based aspect of JRPGs for me, but also the social sim elements that I have grown to love in video games. And Persona certainly has all that. Persona 4, Persona 5, Persona 3, we don't talk about that one. But Fire Emblem Three Houses, my first Fire Emblem, absolutely fell in love with the characters, the world, getting to have those conversations, like going to each student, spending time with them, doing listen, I'm gonna do a tea party. All right. We're going to tea parties. All right. We're doing the activities, getting to know these characters on a deeper level. I don't know why that appeals to me so much, but I think it goes back to my Mass Effect 2 and even Tales Symphonia, where it's just more about building relationships with companions, and they just do it in a unique and different way than those other two, where it's like, hey, you get cutscenes and story. This is more like you have to interact with them and actually like kind of engage with them. So this is my turn-based strategy entry, but yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
This was a recent one, right?
Yeah, this is 2019.
Okay, right. Yeah, a few years then.
Yeah. So this was the first one on the Switch, and then they did Engage, which I didn't really like all that much,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but this was the one that was like critically
Yeah.
acclaimed, and then Engage was the follow-up that was like, all
It's
right.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. You guessed Halo.
I did.
Guessed Halo 3. It's Halo 2.
Yeah.
And much like you with God of War 2,
Oh.
Halo 2, I actually played before I played Halo.
Oh.
So this was kind of, I don't know if this was my first person shooter, but it's certainly like the most impactful one, and the one that kind of showed me like, oh, I really like this genre. The countless hours I spent just doing even free for all, like 3 people, like in our bedroom, just are playing. Like we didn't have online. All right, I didn't have online till the 360, so it was always against just my friends, people in the neighborhood. Like that was my multiplayer experience. But Halo for me has always been more about the campaign, and Halo 2's
Mm.
campaign I think is phenomenal. It I was like, wow, I can't believe shooters can be this good on a console for sure. And I actually went back and then played Halo 1 after playing Halo 2, and then obviously 3 came out. But this is my FPS entry. Uh Still a genre I probably don't play as much as I should.
Yep.
Just it's weird because like I'll play like Doom is something. Love
Mhm.
Doom. But like I played Trepang 2 this year, and that's just a first person. Like that's a pretty good first person shooter. So there are first person shooters I'll dive into, but it's not, yeah, too many games for sure. It's I don't go looking for this genre. I feel like I know it when I see it,
They
when I
come to
want,
you.
yeah,
I'm
exactly. They
exactly the
come to
same.
me when I want to experience a first person shooter, it'll show up and I'll find it, but I don't go searching for these.
Yep.
A Plague Tale Innocence is my next one. This is to capture the third person over the shoulder cinematic, the Sony style games, but I went Plague Tale because it's obviously a series I like a lot more than what PlayStation has put out. But also, I really love double A games. That's
Mm.
something I discovered in 2018. I kind of still feel that way, where I'm much more interested in what's going on in the double A space. Like when I see things like, oh yeah, cool, God of War's coming out, but like Atlas Fallen, bro, like that looks awesome. And I don't know why I feel this way, but like I do find myself, and people can say, "Oh, Kevin loves playing his sixes and sevens." That's totally fine. I'm cool swimming in that area. I'm cool swimming in the double A space because I feel like I play a lot of unique experiences that are like trying to do, yes, Echoes of the End. So that was one on my wish list. That would fall into this category for sure. So I'm just more interested in what's going on with that space as opposed to like the big AAA, oh, we spent 400 million making this game. Like that's great. Like I'm sure it's an awesome game, and I definitely play some of those. Like I'm here for the next God of War, don't get me wrong, but I am much more interested in, even we talked about the showcase, like something like Zoo Punk
Yeah.
is way more up my alley than a lot of what I see at bigger showcases.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I'm with you on the Plague Tale love. You know, the Requiem got very close to my game of the year that year. So hey, when's the next one coming out? The Legacy one?
Yeah, 2026 is all we know.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Hopefully it's
prequel.
soon.
I think we see it at Game Awards.
That
Like
feels right.
I think it gets dated. I think we probably see some gameplay
Yeah.
finally. Yeah, Nissa Fist. Absolutely. I'm not a Metroidvania guy. Fists, I absolutely
Great
adore.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great game. Uh The Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me.
What is
Probably
going on, Kev?
this is to encompass my love of not only horror, but
Oh,
primarily
okay.
horror walking simulators.
Sure.
Because as everyone knows, I'm not really a survival horror guy. Like I couldn't get into Silent Hill 2 remake. I I played Dead Space. I had to put it on easy. Like I just can't. Like I can't get through those types of games. I feel like these style games, these narrative choice based walking simulators, you want to call them, when they're horror based, it's kind of just like a movie to me with choices. Like, yeah, you got to walk around, but like horror is probably my favorite. Well, probably superheroes, but in terms of like movie genre, I'm a big horror fan. I love watching horror movies year round. I will watch horror movies, and I just feel like I've taken that love in that medium, and Supermassive has captured that in video games. It's about spending time with my fiance as well. Like we both adore these games. Like we're super excited for Directive 8020, and I'm like, I'm not even like a big Alien guy. I think it's a good movie, but I will play whatever they put out, just because I love it so much. And I've I was thinking about this. Like, I just put out a ranking. Someone on Reddit was like, "Oh, rank the Dark Pictures games." So I ranked all Supermassive's games, and I was like, finding myself like, "Oh, Man of Medan is actually probably my top 3." Like, weird, because when I first played, I was like, "This game sucks," and then I replayed, I was like, "This game's pretty good, actually." So, I think I've grown appreciation for these style of games.
Yeah, I mean, I should have expected one of these kind of choice-based story horror-centric things on here. I could have narrowed it down to the Dark Pictures for sure, but Devil in Me is I
It's my
wouldn't have
favorite
called.
one. Yeah,
Wouldn't have called.
it's my favorite one, and it's because it's a slasher, and I love slasher movies.
See, now that you said that, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I just don't know why I didn't connect that in my head. That is, I'm disappointed in myself. I'm sorry, Kev.
It's all right. Last one for me, Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. So everyone knows that I love Crash Bandicoot. I have a Crash Team Rumble poster on my wall here. Thank you, Jam Pack Sam. Um, this was a game I played. I didn't have a PS2. My dad had a PS2, and this was one of the only games on it that like I could play because the rest were like, "Oh, Grand Theft Auto, shouldn't be playing that, right?" But, like, my brother, my sister, like we all played this over and over again, and I think that's what maybe why I love Crash so much. Often regarded as not a very good Crash game. I think that's
Yes.
ridiculous. I love it personally. Like, I don't get the hate for it. But this really is to it's a 3D platformer, has some 2.5D elements, so it's not Banjo Kazooie. It's not the Collectathon. This is what I was talking about, the other style of 3D platformers that I really love. Because I'm really not that big into 2D platformers. Like, oh boy, like a new Super Mario Wonder is coming out. Like, okay, I'll play it like co-op, but like that's not something I'm excited for. Crash 4, I was losing my mind playing that. Like, you know me.
I do.
I'm playing Bloodborne, and I lose 5 times, and I'm like, this game, I'm gonna uninstall this game, right? I died 97 times on the final level of Crash 4, and I just kept going. One sitting, I sat there and I just kept going and I don't know why. When you change the type of game, I'm suddenly a masochist for this. But I love Crash. I love these style of games. Yeah, more 3D platformers in general, please.
Hey, for what it's worth, I think Wrath of Cortex is probably my favorite of the PS2 Crash games.
Oh,
So, again, not highly regarded at all. Crunch, I think most people prefer to forget.
I like him.
I think he's fun, and I like all the elemental masks. That's cool.
Yeah, same.
I personally, I know people hate them. I like the ball rolling levels. I like
Yeah, me
those.
too.
Yeah. I think that the one thing I didn't love as much because of how finicky it was, the scuba diving stuff, but
Oh
I
yeah. Well,
didn't.
underwater levels in every
Sure,
platformer suck.
sure, but they were never like as bad as people I think made them out to be. They
Probably
just weren't
not,
very
but
good.
they're still not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my list. Everyone, feel free to critique me if you want. It's not really a objective thing, though. It's kind of a
Yeah,
subjective
I
opinion.
like the list. There's a nice breadth there, and I appreciate as well that we kind of had the same idea on how to tackle it, but we approached it slightly differently. Where I
Yes.
I went for games that defined me as like pivotal moments throughout my life,
Hmm.
the sort of refined taste, whereas you went for the literal sort of if I'm presenting Kev's face on a billboard,
Yeah. Yeah.
what are the things around him to show what kind of guy he is?
Hmm.
So I think that we gave a nice little mix there,
There
providing
were.
people.
I probably had another 10 games on this list
Oh yeah,
originally, and I had to
easy.
like cut it down because I was like, okay, well, this could be lumped in with this, or like, am I trying to not pick newer games just because it's like, oh well, you should you should clearly define yourself early on. I'm like, I don't know if that's particularly true, or like, I didn't want to just pick older games for the sake of picking older games. I wanted to pick games that I'm like, this, it covers everything I'm trying to say. And I feel like a lot of the newer games do that, but I'm sure if I actually went back and like, because when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I'm playing Pokemon. I'm playing a lot of branded IP based
Mhm.
things. Like, oh man, I love the Smurfs game on Game Boy. Like I did, but that doesn't really define me. Like, uh,
Yeah.
there's just those style of games that I think back to, and I'm like, yeah, I uh, I love those as kid. Like Shrek 2 on the GameCube, that game was slapped. I loved that game, but again,
Spider-Man 2 on PS2, you
yeah,
know? Even something like
Spider Man on N64. Don't even.
hey, yeah, Neversoft on PS1, sign me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
But
there's games I have fond memories of, but
of course,
I don't know if they define me at the end of the day.
yeah. And like you were talking about with my list, like I could have easily put in Last of Us
Mhm.
or Uncharted 2, both were very, very close. But not that I omitted them because they were super popular or anything, but I thought, yeah, I think a lot of people could say in a more expansive list that an Uncharted 2 or a Last of Us were defining games because they defined the medium in a lot of ways and therefore influenced a lot of the games that we would experience after they came out. But for like subjective things of things that actually had impact on us, I appreciate that we did typically, for the most part, lean away from like the obvious picks that I think a lot of people would go to.
I also think depending on where you are in life, this list probably changes.
Of course, yeah.
Because like if you asked me to do this 10 years ago, I probably have like FIFA and
Mm,
Call of Duty, like, because on the Xbox One, I was very much just like, oh, I'm playing the casual game. Like, I'm a multiplayer game. Like, I'm playing with my friends. Like, that, it was a whole different era. Like, I would play some single player games here, like Rise and stuff like that, but I would have those games on there.
I would
Um,
have had Star Wars Battlefront
yeah,
and, you know, things like that, so
for sure. Yeah, like I said in chat, we grow, we change.
we do.
But everyone, that will do it for us this week. Thank you all for hanging out with us, sharing what games you feel you define yourselves. If you're listening to this after the show, again, drop them down in the comments. I do want to know. You can do 10, you can do 5, you can do 1. I don't care. Whatever you feel like, drop us, let us know. Sam, until next week, where can people find you, my friend?
Anywhere and everywhere at Sam Heaney, Heaney.
And you can find me at the Muffin Mon everywhere. It's a 1 to 7 I, O instead of an A. Follow us at Save the Game Media over on Blue Sky to stay up to date with our latest. Until next time, everyone have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.